My life before Christ was very depressing. I didn't grow up in a harsh home or anything, but I was very depressed for no reason, and I was very mad. I took football as an anger management tool and just going out hitting people.
Before I had a relationship with Christ, my life was very chaotic, very sporadic. I did a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have done. On the field, I played for myself. I played selfishly. I didn't play with sacrifice. I didn't play with glorification.
Once I came to Christ, God showed me to love my enemies and love my opponent and treat everyone with respect, doing my best out on that field while still having respect for that opponent.
When we were in middle school, 7th grade, we were asked to come to an event through Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We were drawn to it through athletics because we love sports, and we came to this event where high schoolers and college students from the area led it and spoke at it, and at that event we both were saved. We came down to an altar call, which was an amazing experience because our family didn't know Christ, and we grew up in a Catholic home, and so through Fellowship of Christian Athletes, God grabbed a hold of our lives.
You know, one of my friends had told me about some of the activities that they had done in FCA, and at the time I didn't really know what it was. I thought that was a great thing to be part of. You know, I wanted it to be something in my life that I could depend on, that support group. And now being a leader, I'm in that position where I can be that person to other people, and it's such a great feeling, and it's such a great way to know that God can use me in that way.
And I never heard of FCA. I didn't know what Fellowship of Christian Athletes was. I didn't even know we had it at our school. I wanted to be a part of other Christian athletes. I wanted to be able to be a Christian and stand firm in my faith and just really be supported by other Christian athletes. My sophomore year was kind of my beginning to standout year in football, and you know, people had seen that I was in FCA, and they saw that 2 other buddies of mine that were big on the field were in FCA, and other people came. And it was then that I realized, being a student athlete, and not just a regular student athlete, a student athlete that goes beyond on the field and beyond off the field, you're so influential.
I think 1 Corinthians 9:25 says it all, is that an athlete goes into strict training for a crown that doesn't last. But us with God, we go into training for a crown that does last.
A Christian athlete is completely different because as Christians we're called to live for the Lord, and we're called to live according to God's standards, and that means in athletics too. And so instead of all the glory going to the team or an individual, it goes to God.
I believe that in the game atmosphere, an athlete worries about, do I look good? But as a Christian athlete, you play for God. You play with a purpose, and that purpose isn't just to beat the other team. I mean, that's the initial goal in any athletic sport, but it's really to play for Him. You don't have to impress Him. You just play to the hardest of your God-given ability, the abilities that He gave you. And I just believe that the difference between an athlete and a Christian athlete is that we play for God, and we play with a purpose, not just winning, not just looking good. And athletes, they don't do that. They play just to win.
God impacted my life by changing my full view of how I look at football.
I feel like God used athletics to bring us to Him in a huge way. There are so many athletes in our country who have been affected by FCA, and it gives them an amazing opportunity, and it gives them the courage to step out and to witness to their teammates and to play the sport for a greater meaning than themselves.
I just immediately felt a great atmosphere surrounding the whole thing. How everyone was so in love with God and so ready to start their days and start their weeks focused on Him and His power and His love. And I thought that was a great thing to be part of.
On the field, it affected my life through mostly just the way I played. I played a lot more relaxed. I played like I was playing with a purpose. Why? Why do you work so hard? Why do you go through so much, pain? Why do you play through injuries? Why do you do this and do that? I'm like, well, if he can give me the ability to do it, why shouldn't I? If he can go through that, I can at least touch the surface of that.
Huddle is basically FCA's term for group. So like in high school, our huddle was just everyone who came together to meet, and in Evangel, it's our Evangel FCA huddle. Or it's just a way to mix sports terminology with their ministry's terminology. Yeah.
I gotta step out and reach out, and it's really helped my faith to talk to not just my church friends, but to reach out to my school friends.
I like that I can share my faith with others, and it's a way to step out in Christ and be bold to my peers.
We can come no matter where we are throughout the week. We can just come to a group of people where we share the same values and morals, and just about life and God, and just to know that I can come to this community that really supports me and encourages me.
FCA is Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I love that everybody's an athlete. You can relate to each other. Everybody has the same or more similar experiences. You can connect better than somebody that doesn't, that does other things besides sports.
Well, it had such an impact in my life, and I just am passionate about how it changed me, and so I want the same for other people.
I think it's a great opportunity for kids in public schools who are trying to reach their lost friends, who some have had bad experiences with church, and some have had won't even step into a church, or they weren't raised in a church, or maybe they were and are turned away from it. It's a great opportunity for athletes and Christians in public schools to speak about God and to invite their friends to something that's inviting, and athletics draws people to this ministry. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's worldwide. That's why it's the largest sports ministry.
And I think just the most important memory in my entire FCA career, before the game, one of my little dudes came up to me. He just took a leap of faith. He ran out onto that football field in our warm-ups and just grabbed me by the hand and said, "Hey, Coach Dakota, y'all are going to win this game, and you're going to play awesome. God told me to tell you you're going to play awesome. You're going to play hard." And I just felt like it didn't only touch his life. I felt like he touched mine also.
One of my favorite memories is when we were leading our FCA huddle at Glendale, our high school. We had these things called fifth quarters, which were events after football games or basketball games to give kids a place to come on a Friday night so they're not partying, so they're not drinking. And we prayed and prayed, and after a big football game, we had almost 200 kids in our high school gym. And then we gave an invitation, and we had 40 kids step forward in front of all of their peers and get saved and come to the Lord. And we got to pray with them, and it was an amazing experience.
From the time that I've been a member, it was just great to have those leaders and those mentors who were my age, who I could, go to with everything from homework to matters spiritually and things that I didn't quite understand in all areas of my life. That was great. And now being a leader, I'm in that position where I can be that person to other people, and it's such a great feeling.
It's been huge, actually. This is I think I'm the first year playing football. There's not an overwhelming number of Christians, so coming to FCA has been kind of like that hope. I think hope there's still Christians out there like myself.
You had a new perspective on everything. I wasn't playing volleyball just because I was flat. I was playing for the glory of the Lord. But I seriously credit FCA. If I didn't come to that, I don't know where I would be right now.
I see FCA and how it affects student athletes' lives is that it's a reminder of why you are here, what purpose you're here for, and not letting us forget that.
We've been a part of FCA since we were in 7th grade, so in middle school, all throughout high school, and now 2 years of college, we've served and led, and so it's a great, great ministry. Yeah.
Once I came to Christ, I was happier, and I was a lot more energetic, and I saw meaning to life. And life has a purpose now.